DC Universe Presents number 14, written by Mark Andraco, art by Robson Roca. Last issue left off with Black Lightning watching his father about to get attacked because his father's trying to crack a drug ring in the news, and Blue Devil's grandfather being killed by a couple of hitmen who were looking for Blue Devil. This issue picks up with Blue Devil straight up exacting an unholy vengeance upon all of them. He unleashes a bunch of hellfire, and he's got like creepy text bubbles to show that he's fully not in control. And he just sets out to attack all of these guys horribly. And we see that was 72 hours ago, but now he's giving the eulogy at his grandfather's funeral. And he's like, my granddad, he was writer, director, producer for all these films, even if they were a bit B-filmish. But he was my grandfather, and he truly did love me no matter how many times I'd messed up in life. So the world's a little bit darker without him. And then we cut back to Blue Devil taking one of the people who just killed his grandfather and literally zapping the soul out of his body with hellfire. And then we see it's Dan Cassidy, I believe is his name, leaning into the casket, like giving it a kiss and then saying goodbye to a whole bunch of well-wishers. And as he's looking around at the crowd, he sees Jefferson Pierce there, aka Black Lightning. We cut back one more time to the past where Blue Devil has picked up one of the last guys, and he's like, "You're going to tell me who sent you to kill my grandfather." And the guy snitches that it was Tobias Whale, the drug dealer. And Black Lightning is currently out to protect his dad, and he keeps on doing the thing like, it's like, "Dad, dude, look out." And he's running from them, trying to protect him as much as he can, uses things like a fire hydrant and whatnot to protect him, until finally, as they're passing by a nearby car, one of the thugs that Blue Devil was holding just drops down onto it, seemingly unconscious. And he's like, "Hey, Black Lightning, it's you." And it's like, "Blue Devil, what happened to you?" And the guys who were chasing Black Lightning are like, "Hey, guys, it's both of our hits all in one place. We're going to get some bank tonight." And Blue Devil just unleashes his hellfire again and damns their souls to hell. And he's about to exact it on the guy he just dropped on the car, but then Black Lightning's like, "Wait, stop. You said you weren't one of the bad guys. Only bad guys kill." And Blue Devil's like, "Okay, yeah, sorry. I was in a weird headspace. My bad. You're right. We should get out of here." And Black Lightning's dad is like, "Well, fellas, I can give you a ride if you want." So that's where that leaves off. And then we go back to the funeral, and it's like, "Oh, hey, Jeff, what's up? How's it going?" And it's like, "Oh, Dan, I'm sorry. I remember your dad used to give us parties in his studio, like after we won the football championship." And it's like, "Yeah, here's the thing. I know you're Black Lightning. Yeah, I managed to piece that bit together. I saw you the other night." And he's like, saw me the other night, but like, we haven't seen each other in years, unless you're Blue Devil, aren't you? And he's like, "Yeah, no, I totally am. Isn't that crazy? Two superheroes from the same high school. It's insane." So then Black Lightning's like, "Are we sure we should be talking about this, like, out here?" And it's like, "Yeah, no. Come by my place tonight, 8 p.m. So then we cut to Bel Air, where Tobias Whale is, and we see the guy that Blue Devil let live, and he's brought before him. It's just like, "I sent you to do a hit, and you run on me." And the guy's like, "Oh, no, I got something for you." And he pulls out a cup from the studio that he picked up. And he's like, "Oh, an old movie prop. It's the Demon Chalice. If I remember correctly, it needs blood to work." And he just smashes the cup into the guy's mouth. And out of it comes like a dozen damned souls and a demon named Nibiros. So cut back over to later that night. Jeff is meeting up with Dan at the studio. And he's like, "Hey, yeah, no, my grandfather gifted me this place in his will, so it's mine now. Also, I have this letter for him that I wasn't supposed to open until after he died. I'm too nervous to do it alone, so you're going to do it with me." So he opens it up, and it's basically a letter from the grandfather confessing that they are a bunch of people who stand in the way of supernatural threats and protect all of these items that were in the studio are real, but they all are powered by belief. So because he made a bunch of schlocky B films about these items. The belief waned because they were so stupidly portrayed. And so he now passes this task onto Dan, that he must protect all of these items and stop these horrific things from coming back. And Jeff is like, so you're literally like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's what we're doing here. And they take a look at the Blue Devil suit and it's just like, yeah, this thing isn't like normal suit. Like, it's like skin. Like, you could see the nerves on the inside of it. This thing is weird. And Dan's like, Jeff, do you not believe in magic? We have literal aliens from outer space and Atlanteans, and you don't believe in magic? And he's like, I'm not saying, I guess. So we cut back to Whale's office, and the demon has sucked the souls out of everyone in the office, including the secretary that just came to visit. And he turns on Whale, and he's like, tell me, fat man, why shouldn't I kill you as well? And he's like, I got a deal for you. See this guy? And he holds up a picture of Blue Devil. He's like, oh, this, all right, yeah. Maybe you can be of service. So Whale tells him, like, I'll bring you this Blue Devil. And in addition to that, I will give you a fresh supply of souls that you can drain every day. In return, I want you to make me more powerful than I could possibly imagine. Demon's like, done. Deal's a deal. Let's do it. And that's the issue. I like it. Here's the thing. I think it did a good job picking Blue Devil to be the one that we are focusing on, like origin-wise, because I know nothing about him. I know absolutely nothing about Blue Devil. So to walk it through and be like, no, okay, here's his shtick, here's what he's doing, and Black Lightning is also here providing support. And maybe he'll get his own thing in a couple issues, not to say he can't, but I do think it's better to focus on Blue Devil because it is the more niche character. Like, yeah, okay, guy controls lightning. You get that. But Blue Devil is a bit harder to understand, and I'm glad I'm getting a little bit out of this, where it's a suit, kind of has a mind of its own, it's got Hellfire, whole thing of protecting other demonic objects. I'm in. I enjoy the whole thing. As for the Whale Nibiros plotline, I'm not opposed, but I do need to see where it goes. It is a strange turn, to say the least, that this guy is just really into these schlocky B films to the point where he also believes that this stuff is real. I don't know. I'm 50-50. It depends on how they play it. But it is at the very least an interesting turn. So overall, I'm going to give this one I'll give it a 7.5. I really did enjoy it. I think it's a solid entry into this anthology series as it has been going so far.